Welcome to Rideline Reviews, and today, we're diving deep into a modern classic that roars with nostalgia and rides with soul, the 2025 Royal Enfield Continental GT 650. Buckle up, because this is going to be one classy ride. Let's start with what hits you first, the design. The 2025 Continental GT 650 is a tribute to the original cafe racer movement. It's low-slung, purposeful, and drop-dead gorgeous. Royal Enfield has retained the iconic teardrop tank, clip-on handlebars, rear-set footpegs, and the slim, sculpted seat that just screams speed and style from the 60s. But this year, there's a slight twist. The new color schemes, Brooklands Black, Crimson Slipstream, and Racing Dusk, add a layer of sophistication and aggression. The tank now features hand-painted pinstripes in some variants, and the badging has been slightly reworked with a vintage-style script that adds to the retro aesthetic. The alloy wheels on select variants offer a modern touch for those who seek convenience without sacrificing style. Underneath that classic body lies a heart that beats with raw character, the now familiar 648cc parallel twin. Air and oil-cooled, smooth, and torquey, this engine delivers 47 horsepower and 52 Nm of torque. But numbers don't tell the full story. This motor is all about how it makes you feel. Throttle response is linear and predictable. The 270-degree crank gives it a throaty, addictive exhaust note, and the vibrations are now better damped, thanks to revised engine mounts and a retuned balancer shaft in the 2025 model. Whether you're carving through canyons or cruising through urban streets, the GT 650 pulls with a kind of mellow confidence. It's not trying to be a sport bike, it's a soulful machine built for those who enjoy the ride itself. Top speed hovers around 170 km per hour, but the sweet spot is between 90 and 120, where the engine is at its smoothest and most melodic. Now let's talk dynamics. The Continental GT 650 handles like a proper cafe racer. The twin cradle frame, developed in partnership with Harris Performance, provides excellent rigidity and feedback. With a wheelbase of 1,400 mm, this bike feels stable yet agile. Suspension is handled by 41 mm telescopic forks at the front and twin gas-charged shocks at the rear, tuned slightly stiffer on the GT compared to the Interceptor 650, offering sharper handling. The 2025 model gets revised fork internals and better damping characteristics, reducing front-end dive-under braking and improving mid-corner confidence. The Pirelli Phantom Sportscomp tires remain a great match, offering good grip for spirited riding. Ground clearance is a modest 174 mm, good enough for most urban obstacles, but be careful on those mega speed breakers. Clip-ons mean a more aggressive, forward-biased posture, which adds to the cafe racer vibe but may cause fatigue during long hauls. But if you're here for the heritage, it's a compromise worth making. True to its classic roots, the Continental GT 650 doesn't overwhelm you with tech, but 2025 sees a few subtle yet meaningful upgrades. First, the semi-digital instrument cluster now includes a gear position indicator, real-time mileage, and trip analytics, small details that make a big difference in everyday usability. The Tripper navigation pod is now standard on most variants, allowing for turn-by-turn directions via Bluetooth. The lighting system features a new LED headlamp with DRL that retains the vintage round housing. It's brighter and more efficient, especially during night rides. There's also a USB-C charging port now tucked neatly under the left switchgear. Dual-channel ABS is standard and handled by a 320 mm front disc and a 240 mm rear, with bi-brake calipers. Braking is progressive and confidence-inspiring, though some riders may still wish for more initial bite. While the Continental GT 650 isn't a touring machine by design, it surprises you with its practical touches. The seat, although shaped for sportier ergonomics, gets a slightly thicker cushion for 2025. The handlebar and peg positioning encourage a tucked-in stance, but it's not punishing unless you're doing long hours on the saddle. Fuel tank capacity remains at 12.5 liters, offering a real-world range of about 300 to 330 kilometers depending on how heavy your wrist is. Service intervals are rider-friendly, and Royal Enfield's service network is expanding rapidly, especially in Tier 2 and Tier 3 cities. As for luggage, there are optional factory tank bags, saddlebags, and even a rear rack for soft panniers, allowing you to cafe cruise Monday to Friday and weekend tour with ease. Let's talk numbers. The 2025 Royal Enfield Continental GT 650 starts at around 3.39 lakh rupees ex-showroom and goes up depending on paint and trim. It competes against bikes like the KTM Duke 390, Honda CB300R, and even the more premium Triumph Speed 400. But here's where the GT 650 wins. It gives you a twin-cylinder experience, a unique retro character, and mechanical purity that most bikes in its segment can't match. It's not the fastest, nor the most technologically advanced, but it's one of the most soulful motorcycles you can buy under 4 lakh rupees. The 2025 Royal Enfield Continental GT 650 isn't just a motorcycle, it's a moment in time. A revival of an era when motorcycling was raw, honest, and emotional. It's for the purists, the romantics, the cafe cowboys of the modern world. And in a market where tech often overshadows character, the GT 650 dares to be different. It dares to feel. So, is it perfect? No. Is it special? Absolutely. And if you ask me, it's one of the best modern classics you can buy today. This has been Rideline Reviews. If you enjoyed this deep dive into motorcycling heritage, give us a thumbs up, share it with your riding buddies, and don't forget to subscribe for more honest, passionate, and in-depth motorcycle reviews. Until next time, ride safe, ride soulful.